So, first of all, I would like to thank the First Baptist Church for all that they do for us. Now, I've been part of community groups. Yes, let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you. So we have beautiful facilities here. We have access to great instruments. I've been part of other community organizations where, and I'm aware of other community organizations where, they have to borrow instruments for nearing campuses. They rehearse in not very good acoustically friendly environments, and so we're very, very lucky that the First Baptist Church allows us to use their space. It's a beautiful facility, it's air conditioned, and the acoustics work very, very well for what we do. So First Baptist Church, thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Secondly is we're always looking for players. So if you've played a musical instrument at some point in your life and you would like to get back in touch with that great feeling of making music and performing for others, I'd love to welcome you. So there's some information in those programs. Feel free to look it up and just come and join us and build up those chops again. So yes, we're always looking for new members. Thirdly is I am going on my 5th year with the band, and I'm always programming music. So if you have some great ideas, come and talk to me, and I'll consider them because I'm always looking for ideas. Sometimes I feel like I'm running out of ideas, but then something sparks my mind. I look at something and I thought, okay, that'll be a good program. So yeah, if you have any ideas, come and talk to me. But that goes along with purchasing music. So yes, we're gonna get down to the music business. Everything's getting more expensive, right? Everything's just getting more expensive. And one of the things also is music, sheet music. So they've never said no to me, so I should knock on wood. They've never said no to me whenever I've asked them to order some music that I've requested from them. So they're very good people, but that also comes with donations. So if you like what you heard by today, which I'm sure you will, we love to have a donation from you. It's not required. We just want you to enjoy the music, but it's always greatly appreciated. It is a community group, so it is tax deductible, so you can always claim that on your taxes and get a little return on it. And of course, it would benefit us to get instruments and any kind of music that we need. So thank you so much. If you do, if you look at the program, I believe there's a QR code. I think you can scan that. If not, you can go to our website, and I think you can donate through there too. And of course, cash is always appreciated. So, we could always use some cash. So you can always do that as well too. So we always start all of our concerts with the Star Spangled Banner. So if you are able to, I will ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. gosh, aren't they great? They have such a beautiful sound. Such a beautiful sound. It's like standing up here. Yeah, it's one of the greatest gifts. I feel so privileged. I wish everybody would experience the same chills I get from being out here and listening to this amazing band. Yeah, I pity those who don't. It's great. All right, so we're gonna get started. So, like I said, sometimes I'm thinking about programming and what else I can program. So, I love movies. So if you've been to some of our concerts, you know that I love to program film music. In fact, I believe that film music is some of the greatest music ever written. So yeah, if you know great soundtracks, that's great music. Even some films wouldn't work as well without some film music. So one of the genre that I like is Westerns. I like Westerns. Although I read a funny statistic, an interesting statistic, that they don't make Westerns as much as they used to. So from the 1950s to about the 1960s, the biggest genre at that time for film was Westerns. People would consume a lot of Westerns. So they don't do a lot of Westerns, but I still like Westerns. So I decided this summer to watch Once Upon a Time in the West. Once Upon a Time in the West with Charles Bronson and Henry Fonda. So it's a great film. So I decided to watch it, and my God, it's so good. So good. And the music was amazing. The music by Ennio Morricone was so good, which we're going to be playing later on in the program. But I thought, you know what? We have not done a concert just solely of Western music. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So yeah, ever since the beginning, since the foundation of our country, people in this country, our ancestors, they've always looked to expand west, the expansion of the American West. From the manifest destiny, getting from one coast to another, the American vision was always to go from one coast to the other. So, American music takes a lot of its sources from folk tunes, some of it is jazz, but a lot of it is that American Western sound, which is a little bit hard to describe. So I'm just going to get a little technical, but just bear with me. So the triad, which is the root of Western music, the triad, 1, 2, 3. That's what makes up the chords, the chord structure of Western music. That's as technical as I'm going to get. So, if you're ever in a piano, you play 3 notes, that's a chord, right? 1, 2, 3. So that third note, the one that's sandwiched between the first and the fifth, that's what gives it its characteristic. Is it a major chord, happy chord, or is it a minor chord, a sad chord, right? Well, for Western music, now by I mean Western music, American music, they eliminate that third note. Composers, when they want to evoke the American West, they get rid of that third note. So they just leave the first, and the fifth. They just leave that. So what does that create? It's uncharacteristic. It does not have a happy or a sad. It just creates this expansiveness, open fifths, we call them open fifths, and that's really what gives us our American sound. I know I got a little technical, but you'll hear that when we get to Aaron Copland's music. For now, let's get started with American Overture for Band by Joseph Wilcox Jenkins. This is a very famous classical piece for the band, and it was written in 1953 with a U.S. Army Field Band, and it features our great horn section. Thank you. All right, so no Western themed concert will be complete without putting Copeland. So Aaron Copland, one of the most recognized, right? One of the most highly revered American composers. So he wrote a lot of Western sounding music. He wrote a lot of ballets, like Billy the Kid and of course Rodeo, which we're gonna be doing. So the next piece is titled Hoedown, which is the end to his Rodeo ballet. Okay, so it celebrates the American West, and I'm sure maybe you'll recognize this. That was an old commercial back in the 90s, so yeah, I think there's a lot of people here who will remember that. So back in the 90s, or maybe early 2000s, it was a beef commercial. It was a beef commercial. They would talk about beef and how they would encourage everybody to eat more beef. It's what's for dinner, and this was the music in the background. I'm sure you recognize it. This is the Hoedown from Rodeo by Aaron Copland. We're gonna keep on moving to American River Songs. So this is a setting of 3 folk tunes, of American tunes. So it's based on traditional of music composed at an earlier time, when the rivers and the waterways were the lifelines of a growing nation. So it begins with a setting of Down the River, followed by a dramatic treatment of Shenandoah. But no, it's the prettiest best arrangement of Shenandoah I've ever come across. It's very, very pretty. And of course, it finishes with Across the White Missouri, which is the third piece. So there's 3 pieces in here. So fast, slow, fast. And so that's what it is. Okay, this one was, the folk setting for band was done by Pierre Laplante, and this is another one that's just, it's a classic of the band. So I hope you like it. American River Songs. All right, so next we're going to go to Moment for Morricone. So let's talk a little bit about this composer, Ennio Morricone. He actually just died, 2020. Yeah, not too long ago. So Ennio Morricone was very prolific, very famous composer of film scores. So he wrote film scores. He wrote other types of music, but his fame came mostly from writing film scores. And of course, he was Italian, so how does he fit into the whole Western? Well, so like I was saying, 1950s, 1960s, there was a consumerism, a demand for Western films, and one of those was what we call the spaghetti Westerns, right? So what are spaghetti Westerns? I didn't even know, I had to relook this up, spaghetti. How did spaghetti deal with guns and gunslingers and all that, right? So American studios would produce their Westerns, their version of Westerns, who were, very clean-cut, shaven guys, very handsome men with their hats, and so they were not sweaty at all, even though it's very hot out in the West, in the West. So that was the American version. Like, think of High Noon, he's like the sheriff, very clean-cut and everything. So next comes these guys, specifically Sergio Leone. So he's an Italian. He has a different concept of what American Western should be. So all of a sudden, that image gets replaced by scruffy men with trench coats, right? Yeah, they're a little sweaty, so it's a little bit more realistic, a little bit more gritty. So some have even said that the Italians knew how to do Westerns better than Americans, right? The Fistful of Dollars, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, right? Those are all Western films that were done by Italians. So that's where the term spaghetti Westerns came from. All these were done by Italian writers, Italian director, and of course, an Italian composer. So a lot of those very famous Clint Eastwood movies, Once Upon a Time in America, the music was composed by Mr. Ennio Morricone. So you're going to be hearing some of that music in this piece. So his music blends classic orchestra music with modern, unconventional sounds, that we would think of Western sounds. So this medley draws from some of Morricone's most famous and impactful works. So themes included are from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West. It evokes the feeling of the Wild West. And so one of the clients, if you ever, I'm sure you've seen Westerns. What is the high point of a Western movie? The duel, right? The shooting, yeah, it's high noon, and they're that's what it is. So the first part right here is actually that. It is a duel, the standoff from Once Upon a Time in America, and you'll hear the good and the good and the bad and the ugly. So here's a moment for Morricone. with Ennio Morricone for one more piece. And so this is a probably his most popular piece. It's titled Gabriel's Oboe, and it is a well-known piece by Ennio Morricone from the 1986 film The Mission. That's a Robert De Niro film. It is often performed by solo oboe with accompaniment, and the theme was written for the film's character, which his name is Father Gabriel, who plays the oboe to befriend a South American tribe. So the work is a celebrated and unforgettable oboe melody that evokes a sense of longing, melancholy, and ultimately hope. And so we are very honored and very privileged to have our band member, Faith Cuminato, as our oboe soloist for this beautiful piece today. Yes, it's going to be an oboe solo. Thank you so much. oboe. I didn't always used to like the oboe, but when you hear it play so well, yeah, it's the oboe. Kids play the oboe. Choose the oboe. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. It's not my favorite woodwind instrument, so yes. It used to be clarinet. I used to teach clarinet. That's a hard instrument, but sorry, clarinets. But now it's oboe. Oval. All right, next we're gonna go to another film score. This one is by Mr. John Williams. So of course, you know, Jurassic Park and Saving Private Ryan and all of those Steven Spielberg movies. So this one is from the motion picture The Cowboys. And so this is a 1967 film, and this is where he actually earned his first Oscar nomination, which he's had over 50 so far. And so The Cowboys is a typical example of John Williams' capacity to enrich a film story with a narrative music score. So we are transported to the Old West. By the way, this is a John Wayne film. So it complements the story of a 60-year-old Montana cattleman who enlists and mentors 10 schoolboys as cowboys after the regular ranch hands have left for the gold rush fever. So he needs to transport this cattle, and his handyman have left, so he gets these. They were actually showing this movie not too long ago and on TV. And so, yeah, he enlists these teenagers to come help him. And so, yeah, it conveys the high spirit of wild horses, and they're taming the campfire. So the middle section is so pretty. It's slow. You're going to hear some solos back there. You're going to hear some solos here. So pay attention for that. And it's just such a great piece. It is so much fun. And so Williams notes that he wrote the concert overture at the encouragement of his friend Andre Previn, who was another very famous American composer and conductor, who reminded him throughout even the 1980s. So this is the Cowboys overture from the movie The Cowboys. love that piece. By the way, this is the second time we do it. This is so much better than the first time. So it's so good. Not that the first time was bad. Oh my gosh. The band has gotten so much better over the last few years, guys. They're so good. So if you were here at our last concert, we did Beethoven's Third Symphony, and that was so good. So I hope you had a chance to see that. Well, we're coming to the conclusion of our concert, so whatever your favorite Western is, Five-O Goes West, Blazing Saddles, and my personal favorite, Back to the Future Part 3 with Doc Brown, right? Yeah, that's always a classic. I hope you enjoy today's music. So in the next few weeks, throughout the month of December leading up for Christmas, we will be around the community performing, doing some little Christmas, little pop-up events, doing some Christmas music. So I think after Thanksgiving, we will be at the Ace Hardware store, so you can come join us and have some treats, and I know they have beverages and food, and it's just such a great time. Then after that, we'll be going through some of our assisted living communities, and I love playing for them. I always see their smiles on their faces, and they come and talk to me about their childhood experiences and Christmas. They start singing along. Oh, it is just so beautiful. So I really hope you enjoyed today's concert, and from all of us, we all hope that you all have a great Thanksgiving and a happy, happy New Year. Thank you so much. We will now conclude with Carl King's Rough Riders March.
Yeah.